Hello, this is an HP Officejet Pro 8100E printer matched with a CIS continuous ink supply reservoir that will allow this printer to run at very low cost for a significantly longer period of time than from one cartridge. In fact, you'll get the equivalent of about 10 cartridges worth out of one filling. This is how the CIS system will arrive out of the box. The cartridges are already pre-primed and ready to go. You can see from the main reservoir that you've got an indication of ink levels, which will last a spectacularly long period of time. You needn't really worry about those from month to month. And you've got 4 cartridges here which represent the same colours as the original cartridges, and an umbilical cord connecting the two. Again, already pre-primed with ink. If there are any bubbles in there, don't panic, because these are also full of ink, and this is just the supply through to the main reservoir. These are the simple components we need to get moving. So in addition to the pre-filled reservoir and cartridge set, you'll receive the 4 breather tubes and the 2 cable guides, which are peel-off adhesive, and you just stick them onto the case of the printer. The first thing you have to do is remove the 4 air hole stoppers, leave the larger filling plugs in place, but remove the stoppers from the smaller holes at the back of the reservoir, and in the same holes put in the air breather holes, and this is to stop a vacuum from forming in the tank, and they just go straight in like that. Not a lot of pressure. Now, putting the cartridge in place can be a bit fiddly. Fiddly rather than difficult. It's a bit like threading a needle. Get the cartridges in the same position, and they're not. Get the cartridges in the same position relative to the labels marked on the bottom of the carriage mechanism, with the chip at the top, and place them gently on the outside of the carriage, and then ease them in. If they're meeting a resistance, don't force it. You might have to pull them back and try again. But one at a time, push them in there, and they're going in quite easily. This is the only modification we've got to make to the printer. 2 adhesive pads attached to the outside of the printer that are easily accessible. The first one is a clip which holds the run of the cable above the top of the print heads, and simply remove the self-adhesive strip and then attach it centrally above the access window. Then route the cable, allowing enough run for it not to foul, because the carriage moves back and forth, and that lightly grips that. And then the other one, it's got to have a small twist in it somewhere. There we go, it's quite flexible. It has to be positioned so that it's near the lid catch. So we push this one here so that it doesn't cross over under the lid, so. And that again holds it quite loosely. The ideal place for the routing of the ink pipes is just in front of the top lid, so that when it's closed it clears the hinge and it clears the small lever there that tells the printer that the lid is closed. And in that position the warning triangle in the window here will go out, and then it will be able to print. But you have to allow enough clearance on the cable for it not to foul or pull tight when it runs down its width. And here we test it out, make sure it's all working properly.